Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Before I begin, don't forget to join my Discord server called Luca10's Hangar. I plan on joining weekly, so if anybody wants to fly together, we can make that happen. My Discord server is linked down in the description below. Today I'll be flying out the FFVS J22-B. In the early 1940s, Sweden needed modern fighters. With World War II ongoing, obtaining foreign aircraft or materials was difficult. Sweden's defense planners wanted something domestically produced to replace or supplement older types. Saab, which was already occupied in making bombers and other aircraft, could not handle more production. So a separate organization, FFVS, or Royal Air Administration's Aircraft Workshop, was established specifically to design and build a new fighter. The chief designer was Bo Lundberg. The aircraft was designed to be built mostly from materials that were not strategically scarce. The structure was mostly steel tubing covered with molded birch plywood. The J-22B had an SFA STWC3 radial engine. This engine has 1,050 horsepower. The J-22B's armament consists of four 13.2mm Akon M39 machine guns. The first production model of the FFVS J-22B was delivered on November 23, 1943. It was used by the Swedish Air Force. Due to its construction and armament, the J-22, especially the B, was well liked by pilots at low and medium altitudes. It had decent maneuverability, decent speed for the era especially, and relatively strong firepower in the B. The J-22 is often cited as an example of wartime ingenuity, using available materials and building a capable fighter under constraints. It helped establish and sustain Swedish aircraft industry experience, both in production, subcontracting, and maintenance that contributed to post-war aviation developments. The FFVS J-22 was retired from Swedish service in 1952. Today, 5 FFVS J-22s are preserved, including a J-22B variant. Most of the surviving aircraft are in Sweden, with one undergoing restoration to flying condition. That's all for the history lesson. I hope you enjoy the combat. Now we're in the first game, and I just wanted to show this dogfight that I had with this Corsair. He starts to go head on with me. I'm going to start going head on with him right now, but I'm not going to fully commit it. There's no reason to fully commit it. I know I can use my maneuverability to my advantage. Just remember, once you pull off of a head-on, you have to remember to fly as unpredictably as possible. I guarantee you 8 times out of 10, anybody who you try to fully commit the head-on with, they're going to want to fully commit it and they're not going to pull off. They're going to try to kill you. I know the Corsair is definitely not going to outmaneuver me, so it's only a matter of time until I get my nose around onto him. One of the key things to winning every dogfight is to manage your power settings and manage your flaps. If you do that, you can definitely win almost any dogfight, even if your aircraft is severely underpowered like this one. As we pull up, I'm going to put my combat flaps down there, fire the gun, and I'm able to take them out. I put my combat flaps down there just to gain a little bit more lift. Remember, flaps create drag, but they also create lift, but not in every scenario. If you have no airspeed, you're not going to gain any lift. You're just prolonging the time you're going to stall. Now I'm in the next game and I just side climbed way far out. I'm looking for somebody to boom and zoom. Preferably I want to go for some of the highest enemies, and so far that SU-6 looks like a good contender. He's coming in towards me, and he's lower than me. Just remember, if they're below you and still have a bunch of energy, they can still pull up in towards you. I'm not too worried about it though, because he's an SU-6 and he's a ground attacker. He's really not going to do very well at higher altitudes. I definitely want to try to dive on this guy, and I'm always going to be looking around me, being aware of all my surroundings before I do that. I just have to be very mindful of my airspeed and my power settings. If I get too fast, this aircraft's controls will absolutely lock up, and it's not good. As I'm firing, I've already killed my power, and I already see my airspeed really starting to build up, so I'm going to pull up here to not gain as much airspeed. He starts to pull up in towards me, really not a good idea. I'm just going to turn back around and kill him. If you know your enemy can't maneuver at higher airspeeds, try to get them as fast as you can before you dogfight them. Don't just pull up into your enemy and hope for the best. You just have to be very mindful of your aircraft strengths and weaknesses too, because if your aircraft can't maneuver very well at higher airspeeds, then that's a different story. But after that kill, I'm going to start a climb, and now I'm always going to be looking around me, being aware of all my surroundings. I see a fighter and a bomber off my right, and then 2 fighters below me. Thankfully, I still have a couple more allies to hopefully help me out in this game. It really wouldn't be good if I was fighting a 1v6 here. This aircraft already doesn't climb very well, it's not very fast, and it doesn't maneuver that great. One really good thing about this aircraft is that it has really good guns. 4 13.2mm machine guns is definitely really good at 3.7. As I keep climbing and look to my right, I see that my ally XP50 takes out that 109, which is really good for me. And then immediately after that kill, he takes out the Sterling too, which is even better for our team. Now the last 3 guys that are still alive and flying are in front of me and below me. All I have to do here is just boom and zoom them. I have to be very careful I don't get too fast though whenever I'm diving from this high. I'm going to head for the Ki-43 first, because it looks like that P-47 is already heading back towards his airfield. I just want to be able to make quick work of this Ki-43, because if that P-47 comes back, I'm not going to be able to get above him. I'm just going to have to be looking around me, always being aware of all my surroundings. And notice how I dive here, and then I pull back up a little bit. I'm just making sure I'm managing my airspeed. Remember what I said, this aircraft's controls will absolutely lock up and they will kill you. I'm about to show an example here. This idiot P-63 starts to fully commit a head-on with this Ki-43. They both miss. I'm going to start firing at the Ki-43. Realize I'm about to hit the ground, so I'm going to pull up as hard as I can here, even put my flaps down and rip them off. That's totally fine though, you don't need flaps to fly. That was extremely close though, and you have to be very careful when you go to full roll controls like that. If you really do pull as hard as you can over-G the aircraft and you will rip your wings off, or cause some more structural damage. I knew I would rip my flaps off there, but the reason why I put them down was just to gain that little bit of extra lift. I needed all of it that I can get. But like I said just before, you can absolutely over-G the aircraft, and you can't just do that in any aircraft. Now I'm going to start climbing towards the enemy airfield because that P-47 already landed there. But of course, my ally thinks it's a good idea to go straight head-on with the artillery, and of course, we know what happens there. Thankfully, he took back off again, and I have him in sight. Now I'm going to do the smart thing and wait for him. All I have to do here is just have a little bit of patience and wait for him to fly away from his airfield. I've got a broken layer of clouds below me, which is good. I'm hoping that he's not going to be able to see me above here. And then just a couple seconds later, as I'm looking through the broken clouds, I see him just pop out. Now I'm going to dive down on him. Thankfully, his username popped up for me, so I'm able to track him in the clouds. I see that my airspeed is getting kind of high, so I'm going to pull up here a little bit just to lose some of that airspeed. I'm going to start my dive again and just keep tracking him. I start firing at him in the clouds here. He starts to turn. Rip his left aileron off, set him on fire, and he's probably dead here. But I'm not going to count on it, though. I've seen some pretty crazy things, and he's pretty close to his airfield. But then thankfully, he's able to get taken out. And just like that, we win the game. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my video. If anybody has any suggestions on what aircraft they want me to fly next, please leave it in the comment section down below, and I'd be happy to fly that aircraft.